Now, if I'm talking to my client, I'm saying $78,000 are leaking out of your business, and here's where it's leaking, right? We have an operating expense problem and we have an inventory problem. We've got too much inventory and we got an operating expense problem. Now, what this is going to do, you're like, okay, what do I do about it? Remember, this is identify. Part of the fixed framework was cash flow is the burning issue. Identify. We use mining your business for hidden cash to identify that this is what's causing the problem. Operating expense and inventory. What's the last step? There's find, identify, execute, right? What are we going to do about these two? So I scroll down, I can either create an action plan. AI will create an action plan for me, which will put it on their to-do list, or I can go get more granular using another tool, right? So this is just going to say, hey, create these plans, right? Current inventory is this, we need to get it down. But maybe I need more information. So I go down to the bottom, it says, hey, here's what to do next. So we're working through the issue. We found it, cash flow. The problem's operating expense and inventory. What I'm going to do about it, maybe I'll use the fast money formula first and go see how much inventory is a problem, right? Fast money formula is about, hey, you have this much working capital and you only need this much. Most people can calculate up working capital. That's just how much money you have or have access to. That's your line of credit and your cash. Working capital required is how much do you need, though, to keep up with sales? If I want to keep up with my sales for inventory, how much cash do I need to keep the inventory on the shelf? Or if I'm a service company, how much payroll do I need to keep up with my service, right? That's what it calculates. And down below, it gives you a visual of that. This is called the fast money formula. It tells you how long inventory is sitting on the shelf, how long it takes you to get paid. At the same time, you're paying your bills. And the difference between you paying your bills and getting paid by your customers is called the financial gap or the cash gap. You need enough working capital to cover this many days of work, of business, of selling, right? That's what that means. So here it's going to say, what if I had too much inventory? You see how the chart changes, right? That's if it got worse, it changes. If I collected too slow, it changes and the gap gets bigger. That's where people get into problems. The smaller the gap, the less money it takes to run your business. The larger the gap, the more money it takes to run your business, right? You see how the number kind of came up now, right? It came up to 162 and it was at 100 because we made it worse. If we make it better, it takes less money to run your business. So not from current, but maybe I got better. Maybe I got better at inventory. I had less inventory. See what happens to the gap? It's smaller and it takes less money to run our business. So when people say, how do I solve cash flow problems? This is what you do. You're like, going, listen, we've got three levers we can pull, for an inventory company. And the smaller we make that gap, the less money it takes for us to run our business. Now you're saying, oh, I work with more than inventory companies. All right. So you come down here to company type. And if you're a service-based company, it changes the way you tell the story. If you're a project-based company, it's going to look at how much you get paid in advance. Like some people have deposit up front, and then they do the work and accumulate bills, and then they get paid at the end. So it looks at it from a project point of view, like a contractor. Or maybe I'm a combination of both, right? And it's going to have more things in there to explain it, right? The concept's similar on all three. The visual's different because it tells the story to that person's business different. You want to look like you're the expert in every time. Now, one of the things I pointed out, all right, so that's a fast money formula.